Without hesitation, Strickland ran to his car and grabbed a baseball bat out of the trunk. In 2005, the library's materials budget was $5.3 million. About half of that is next year's proposed budget. There's not one, not two, but 6 sets of twins, 350 pounds of bologna, and it's going to families in need. Right now, the hole's a little over 5 feet deep, and that's about the height that I am. Not to mention, it's only steps away from a JEA utility pole. The students are refurbishing and refreshing more than 68,000 computers. People are being brought in by the bus loads. Drivers with the St. Johns County School District volunteering their time. Monitors and anesthesia and equipment booms are attached to the ceiling, keeping cords and stands off the floor. They just made the discovery not too long ago. Right now, I'm standing along Payne Road where you can see there's still an active presence of sheriff's deputies blocking off Payne Road. This is where Jordan Cooper lived. I think we're gonna get off right now because we were hearing earlier some people screaming from across the street. I don't know if they're asking for help, so we're gonna go check that out and then we will check back in with you guys.
This is live TV, and you are in the middle of a very tense and emotional situation.
Excuse me, sir, are you okay? Where's my photographer, John? Is he helping the female?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what happened?
Actually, it was Saturday and it got deeper and deeper.
We're on Bison Road, and this is off of North Main Street. What happened was we were doing a live shot talking about how flooded the roads were, and over there, it was just past my knees. We heard somebody screaming in the distance. You can't see, it's dark out here. I had no idea what's going on. We got off and then we came running over here, and this is near a daycare and the Texaco gas station. Look behind me. This vehicle almost submerged in water here. There were 2 people inside. So one guy was able to get out and come flag us down. We ran out here and he said, my girlfriend, she's getting out and she's getting on the roof of the car. She's still over there. You know, thank God my photographer, John, he was here. He, threw me all the gear and jumped out here. The water is up past the waist out here, folks. This is not the time to get out here and drive around. It's really difficult to see. I'm sure, they had good intentions. We were talking to the gentleman and he said he just wanted to pick up his girlfriend. So I'm not sure where they were coming from. You can see the lights of the back of the vehicle. It's floating right now out here in the parking lot. We called 911. I spoke to fire rescue. They said all of their resources, they're out rescuing people and trying to get things back in order right now. So they couldn't come out here. You've got to be safe, guys, because if you can imagine being in this type of situation, you don't want to be stuck out here. It's dark. You can't see anybody. If we weren't out here, they would have been stuck. They didn't have their shirts on. They were shivering. I don't know if they were hurt. Trees piercing homes, blown out windows, and roof damage.
This is typical for storms like this. You get a big gust of wind and just rips the whole thing off.
After storms like Irma, contractors like Gifford and Jacksonville are swamped with roof repairs.
Within a few hours, we'll start getting phone calls.
Before they climb that ladder, there's some things you need to look out for so you don't get scammed. First, are they state licensed? If you don't know, ask.
On their estimates that they give you, their state license should be listed on there.
Do they have workers' compensation and general liability insurance?
If the labor that he's got working, the roofer he's got working, was to fall off the roof and get injured, ultimately the homeowner would end up having a lawsuit against them because there would be no insurance to cover that.
Liability insurance also covers your home from any projects or repairs that don't turn out right.
So we're going to need to make sure that we get the right color shingles, make sure that they match correctly.
And never pay the entire cost for a repair up front. The Better Business Bureau warns many storm victims get ripped off this way.
Well, it's disappointing. As a local business owner, I like to pride ourselves in our industry in doing things the right way. And it is frustrating to see at times people getting taken advantage of.
It's important to do your homework. Looking up reviews and licenses online can help narrow down the options to businesses you can trust. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.
First thing in the morning, I come in and say, all right, kids, let's eat.
It's a task Mike Heath never expected he'd be doing before getting to work at Pello Body Shop. I know what you're thinking.
Where'd you get them? Where'd they come from? You gonna eat them?
Last month, the Brunswick business took them in, hoping to find their owners.
Kind of like a stray dog that you know's out fending for himself, I guess. And you'd rather have them taken care of as opposed to hunters riding by, shooting them, somebody looking for a barbecue.
You can call Heath the pig whisperer. He's gotten so close to the hogs, he named them.
It was a kind of a shock joke, ham and eggs.
During the day, you can find ham and eggs in some shade, like under this trailer here. The people at Pello's Body Shop said about a month ago they found them wandering around their neighborhood. They've gone door to door, even on social media. They haven't had any luck locating their owner, so they want to find them a good home.
Preferably a farm that has other animals, goats, horses, somebody that does this full time, that sees them the same way as we do. They'll roll around like a couple little puppies in a minute.
Pets, not food.
The way I understand it, potbelly pigs are more fat. They're not a edible pork. You smacking, you need to work on that manners.
Wanted, a good home for these two not-so-little piggies. They have to stay together. Heath says they will interview anyone who's interested in keeping the pigs.
I guess you have my kids in the background.
Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.
Ground is caving in. It's really dangerous.
Sonia Shelton has lived in the Cedar Hills community for over 40 years and says this storm drainage ditch next door has been causing a lot of frustration.
This house floods, the house across the street floods, and my house floods because this water has nowhere to go.
These pictures show what Shelton and her neighbors deal with every time a storm passes, the ground disappearing under the floods. After constant complaints, she says the city came out and installed a brick wall last year to keep the water from spilling over. 2 months later, she noticed it began to sink.
I've been calling the city nonstop. These bricks have dropped down. The water has nowhere to go. It's going over the wall.
The stormwater appears to create a new runoff pattern, causing the land and dirt surrounding the storm drain to collapse. Right now, the hole's a little over 5 feet deep, and that's about the height that I am. Not to mention, it's only steps away from a JEA utility pole.
It frustrates me a whole lot. I've been calling them nonstop, sending pictures, and it's just getting a little dangerous.
Shelton says these barriers the city recently put out aren't helping.
We had a child fall in the other day, and we pulled him out, and sometimes their barriers fall in.
Shelton says the fact that she lives next to a storm drain doesn't bother her, but she wants the city to fix the problem.
I just want this taken care of, because I'm scared. It's scary for all of us here in this neighborhood.
Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.
I walked in, and I haven't moved anything since it happened, and this is what I walked into.
Jessica Washington's Wood Hollow apartment off Atlantic and Hodges was ransacked. Her purse still lies on the floor, everything emptied out.
I noticed my TV was gone, and that's when I immediately knew someone had been here.
While Washington was at work Friday, she says someone broke into her apartment and got away with all of her electronics, including 2 TVs, one mounted on the wall, a tablet, and a laptop. And the crooks were thorough.
All the cabinets and drawers were left open like they were looking for something. They dumped out all my drawers, underwear, socks, everything. Dumped everything out. They moved my mattress.
The burglar was able to break the lock on the sliding glass door and get in.
I know I'm not the most observant person when it comes to so I keep going through my head did I miss something? Did I see something?
After Jessica reported the burglary, her apartment managers came and replaced the locks on the sliding glass door. But what surprised her the most, they offered this piece of wood as an added safety measure. Something that our crime and safety analyst Gil Smith says can help keep the thieves out.
Now, what a lot of people do is they'll take a pole or a rod and put it down in the tracks on the floor. When burglars see that, they don't even try to break in because they know even if they break the lock, they can't open that door without smashing the window.
As for Washington, that's not enough to give her peace of mind.
It just makes you feel really violated and just uncomfortable because it went further than just taking stuff. They touched all of my stuff. They went through my drawers, they went through my closet. My bathroom, just all the stuff most personal to me.
For now, she says she won't be staying here. She's fighting to get out of her lease and find another place to live. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station. Get ready to see more of these. Construction cones along the Fuller Warren Bridge. A new project is underway to make improvements to I-95 and I-10. An additional travel lane will be added in both directions, expanding the bridge. FDOT says changes are necessary to keep up with demand. Right now, about 250,000 cars travel through the interchange every day. That number is expected to increase to 290,000 by 2040. And the project will come with some new accommodations. Instead of driving, you can walk or even bike across the Fuller Warren Bridge. A new shared use path will be added to both north and southbound sides of the bridge for pedestrians and bicyclists. It will be separated from traffic by a barrier and fence. It connects San Marco to Riverside, and FDOT says it will give locals easier access to events like the Riverside Arts Market. The projects are expected to be finished in 2020. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.
Very disheartening, very sad.
And disgusting. It's somebody that would do that.
These sea turtle advocates are talking about these disturbing photos. It's what's left of a green sea turtle after 2 men tore the shell from its body. It's a federal crime even if it's dead because sea turtles are a protected species.
People simply not knowing and understanding the impact that they were making. I'm sure they did it in ignorance.
Beach's Sea Turtle Patrol member Mary Mills says even though the turtle was dead, the shell holds clues FWC can use to find out how the turtle died in the first place.
It's very important for research so that we can find out how to preserve them in the future.
Florida Fish and Wildlife says there are 3 simple things you can do to help the sea turtles out. First and foremost, don't mess with any of the sea turtle nests. Just let them be. Make sure you fill in any of the holes you might see in the sand. And if you're at the beach at night, make sure you have all the lights turned off. That includes cell phone lights. Casey Jones patrols the beaches with the Florida Sea Turtle Watch grassroots organization. He says more beachgoers need to get educated on sea life to help protect the species.
The ignorance of people that do something like that and that don't think before they do it or they don't look it up, it's disgusting.
As for the people involved with mutilating the sea turtle, they could face thousands of dollars in fines and up to 5 years in jail. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station. It was like an assembly line as boxes full of food slid across the tables and into the arms of families in need on the west side.
When you live on a fixed income, it's not always easy to make ends meet between rent, utilities, etc. Any food is always a big help.
Eric Blessing has 13 grandchildren and was happy to see a log of bologna in his box.
All the kids like bologna. I'll be making bologna and cheese grilled cheese sandwiches.
This is where Jags head coach Doug Marrone comes into the story. Remember when he shared his love for bologna during a post-game news conference?
I'm going to take the shower, all right? I'll call my wife, meet me at home, pick up some bologna and cheese. I was thinking about you guys last night. There was a little brown on the bologna, you know, because after a while it gets a little late, and I was like, I'm going to eat it anyway. I don't care.
It went viral, and the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council sent him boxes full of BOLOGNA. Marrone kept a few logs and donated the rest to Feeding Northeast Florida Food Bank. 350 pounds of bologna, and it's going to families in need in one of Jacksonville's food deserts. Families on the west side lined up outside the Daily Manna Serving Center. To them, it's more than just a bunch of bologna.
That's great. I mean, that's a blessing.
We serve sometimes homeless people, and it's something that you don't have to cook.
Who would have thought? Jags and bologna, 2 fan favorites feeding the community. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station. 39-year-old William Strickland is receiving the highest civilian honor for his actions 5 months ago. But to him, it seems like it was just yesterday when he went to Lowe's in East Arlington to grab a light fixture.
And there was a couple of guys kind of frantically around this one car in the parking lot.
A 2-month-old girl strapped into her car seat unattended.
I went over and I looked in the window, and as soon as the baby saw me, she let out this horrible cry.
As a father of 3, he went into parenting mode. Without hesitation, Strickland ran to his car and grabbed a baseball bat out of the trunk.
I bust out the passenger side front window.
He took the baby into the store. Her mother, 31-year-old Zoya Thomas, had been shopping for nearly 20 minutes, leaving the baby in the car with no air conditioning and 85-degree heat.
When William rescued the baby from the vehicle, the child's clothing and car seat were completely saturated in sweat.
It was heartbreaking. It angered me.
Holding on to the baby, Strickland ran into her mother.
And I asked her, I was like, is this your child? And she was like, yeah, I just came in to get some paint samples.
When police arrived, Thomas was arrested for child neglect. The child was checked out by EMTs and DCF was called. Police say Strickland saved the baby's life, and that's why they're honoring him.
For his quick actions and quick thinking, I consider him a hero.
Strickland hopes his story will inspire others to take action when they see something wrong. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.